What's up, fantasy managers? This is Jason, the lucky bastard Uthenwoldt, and you are watching the Fantasy Footballin Show. Before we get into anything, if we could please get some subscriptions, some likes, some comments, that go a long way. You guys have been great. More is always better. We're a little bit greedy, so if you could do that, that'd be great. We also got Instagram. It's the Fantasy Footballin Show. If you want some more content, you could go there, check us out, give us a follow, give us a like. We appreciate it. Today's show is play or pause for Thursday night's football game, Jacksonville at the New York Jets. I'm looking at my R2D2 being beep boop boop beep beep beep. It's getting kind of cold here in the Pacific Northwest, but this isn't a Holiday Inn, so we don't use the heat, right? We got to bundle up. We got to fight through it. This is the Fantasy Footballin's version of start or sit for Thursday night's game. I'm doing Jacksonville. Tyler's doing the Jets. I'm recording this on Tuesday, December 20th. So if there's some players who are kind of injured right now, if they start or sit, or if they're on the injury report, just remember this was done before the final injury report on Wednesday. With that being said, just keep that in mind, and let's get into this. All right. So Trevor Lawrence, right now he is 0-1 on Thursday nights. Last game that he played last year, he was 17 for 24, 204 yards, but he had 0 touchdowns. He had 0 interceptions. He was averaging 8.5 yards a throw, which is decent. That's pretty good. Can't really go off of just like one game, So I also went for the coach, Doug Patterson. He coached the Eagles there for a bit, and during his stay there, he was 6-1 on Thursday night. So that's a pretty good record going into Thursday. Some of the injuries to look out is Trevor Lawrence's. He's questionable with a toe. Right guard Brandon, I don't know, Shirf, he's questionable, and right tackle Jawan Taylor is also questionable. So keep an eye on those, especially on the line. There's always a huge drop off from first string to second string when it comes to offensive line. So keep an eye on that. On the other side of the ball, Quentin Williams, he has a calf. He's questionable, or he's a game time decision actually. And then free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, he's also questionable for Thursday night's game. Remember, this video was done Tuesday, December 20th. All right, so let's get into this, right? Jacksonville's kind of been on a little bit of a tear lately. They handed my Cowboys a big-time loss, putting up 40 points. The week before that, they handed division rival Titans a loss, and they threw up like 33, 36 points. The Jacksonville are playing pretty good. With that being said, I would say you would need to play Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, he's got a pretty tough matchup going against the New York Jets, but Doug Patterson right now, his game scheming that he's doing, it's looking pretty good, and Trevor Lawrence is playing really well. Trevor Lawrence, he's a 6th scoring quarterback in fantasy football. They are going against the 7th best defense against quarterback scoring, but the last 5 games, Trevor Lawrence is averaging 289 yards, 13 touchdowns, and only 1 interception, right? That's great stats, especially towards the end of the year when you're going to need Trevor Lawrence to take you to the championship, since we are now heading into week 2. I'm pretty sure if you're in week 2 and you have Trevor Lawrence, he helped you get there because he put up like 34 points last week. Or he put up, not 34, but he put up like 20. In our league, I think it was like 29 points. Yeah, I played him, but didn't help my team at all. So, wish they would have got a little bit more like 40 points more. But he's playing well. Jacksonville's playing well. The New York Jets defense, they allow only 179 yards for passing yards. So that's pretty good. But like I said, I think Doug Peterson's going to work something out, and they're going to come up with some plays. And Trevor Lawrence, he's pretty hot right now. He's lit. He's on fire. I think he's going to continue it. It's going to be a tough matchup. I think he's going to pull through. I think he's going to get you some points that you need. Trevor Lawrence, since the Week 11 bye, he's got 26 points, 16 points, 34 points, and 31 points. In those games, 2 of those games, he's had 3 touchdowns. And then last week's game, he threw for 4 touchdowns against a Dallas defense that's tied for 7th best with the Jets against quarterback scoring. So those stats right there show that he's on a roll. Jacksonville, it took a little later, much later time than they would like, but they are playing really well right now. The Jets are not playing really well. They're kind of like, I say you got to start him. I think he's not going to be putting up big numbers since he's on the road, but I think he's going to be putting up around the 20 mark, and that's pretty good for trying to get you to advance into the second round of the playoffs. So with that being said, this next part was kind of difficult because, you know, when I watched these Jacksonville games, I'm like, who's their number 1 wide receiver, right? Is it Zay Jones or Christian Kirk? That's very important to know because it's like, who is Sauce Gardner going to cover, right? If you look at how these wide receivers play, I would say it's Zay Jones. But then if you look at the stats, it's Christian Kirk. I think, now this is just, you got to take like a guess, right? I think what they want to do after last week's game where you saw Zay Jones put up 3 touchdowns against the Dallas Cowboys, I think Sauce Gardner is going to cover Zay Jones mostly, right? And with that being said, Zay Jones is 20th in the league in wide receivers. He's going up against the second best defense against wide receiver scoring. He's only had 5 TDs this year, and it was 3 of those came last week against the Dallas defense, who's getting worse and worse. I think Sauce Gardner is going to guard him. I believe he is. Sauce Gardner has only allowed 1, maybe 2 touchdowns this year, and one of the touchdowns that he gave up was to Justin Jefferson. I mean, Justin Jefferson's a great route runner as it is, but he played him pretty good that game. Justin Jefferson, he had a touchdown, but he only had 7 receptions for 45 yards. That was one of Justin Jefferson's worst showings for the game. This is just to explain how good Sauce Gardner is. Guy's a beast. He's going to be in the league for a long time. What? The new Darrelle Revis? What? We'll see. So I'm going to say that Zay Jones, he's projected 10 points in our league. I think he's not going to – I believe he's not going to reach that. I think he's going to be the bust. I think he's going to be the bust for this week. So, bust. I'll bust you, dude. Busted. You're the cops, man. We're here. Busted. I don't think he's going to do a performance like he did in last week, right? Okay, next. So on to the Christian Kirk, right? Who's the number 1? Who's the number 1? Probably this guy. What if Sauce Gardner covers him? Geez. Pretty tough, right? Okay, so if I'm saying Sauce Gardner is going to cover Zay Jones, and I'm pausing Zay Jones, that means I'm going to play Christian Kirk, who's the 11th wide receiver in the league, still going against the second best defense against wide receiver scoring. This guy, the last 4 games, he has 9, 8, 7, and 10 targets, which is pretty damn good. And if Sauce Gardner is going to cover Zay Jones, he's going to get even more targets. With that being said, he's already doing well with the targets he's getting. He's going to probably get some more extra looks. If Sauce Gardner is covering Zay Jones, there's a good chance that this is a game that he will get a touchdown and he's going to get the yards, going to get some catches. I think he's going to have a pretty good game. This was actually pretty tough. It was like, I'm either going to do a bust on Zay Jones or I'm going to do a boom on Christian Kirk. I think I'm sticking with the bust on Zay Jones just because there is a chance that this next player even will take some targets from Christian Kirk, and that is Evan Engram. Play Evan Engram. He's the 5th tight end scoring. He's going against the 17th best defense against tight end scoring. He has 3 straight games at 10-plus points. He had 34 points 2 weeks ago against the Titans. And during that span, he's had 32 targets. The weakness of this Jacksonville or this New York Jets defense is the tight end, right? And you got this athletic, great build dude who's playing on the Doug Peterson offense. It looks like you got Trevor Lawrence, who likes to look for this guy. He even played well last week against the Cowboys. This is a good matchup for Engram. You got to play him. All right. And then I'm going to say, you play this defense, right? The Jets are 20th best in defense or in opposing defense scoring. And if Zach Wilson starts, that's even better for Jacksonville because Zach Wilson, he's a magician, right? His pro day, they were like, this guy is going to be the next big thing, doing crazy throws. No, this guy's actually a douchebag and he actually sucks. Mike White, he had a rib injury. At this point, I don't think he's cleared to play right now, so it looks like it's going to be Zach Wilson. So, with that being said, I think it'd be all right starting the Jacksonville defense if you need to. I feel like this could be a pretty good matchup with Zach Wilson as quarterback. And then finally, you're going to play their kicker, Patterson. Jacksonville's kind of on a roll scoring lately. They're getting on the other side of the field. So even if the defense tightens up around the red zone, he's going to get some kicks in for you. Right now, their type of style is benefiting the kicker. So, and it's Thursday night. You start kickers on Thursday night. Okay. Looks like that's about it. I appreciate you guys staying this long. If you did, R2D2 appreciated it too. Beep, boop, beep, bop, beep, beep. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope. Once again, if you guys just subscribe, if you guys could like, if you could leave some comments, that'll be all groovy. Our Instagram tag is the Fantasy Footballin Show. Tyler's gonna be coming out with his video. This should be coming out on Wednesday, so Tyler's should be Thursday morning. We appreciate you guys for sticking with us. I hope you guys have a good second week of the fantasy playoffs. Hope you continue to do well. Good luck to everybody, and we'll catch you on the flip side.